Hello and welcome to your English 103 library introduction video. My name is Elizabeth Cook. I'm the instructional design librarian here at Citrus, and I am here to walk you through how to use library resources for your upcoming essay. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to show you is how to actually get to the library site. So most of you are familiar with our Citrus College homepage, so you can go here, and if you scroll down, you'll see that there is a picture of the library right in the middle of the page. Just click on that and it is going to take you to our library homepage. So this is our beautiful library homepage filled with all sorts of good information, including when we are here, how to reach us, which we'll talk a little bit about later, and some good links down here at the bottom. One of the things we're going to talk about today is your My Library account, and I'm going to focus on that first because everything we're going to talk about you will be able to access at home. You will just need a My Library account. Now, some of you may have one of these if you've taken another class. Some of you may not, or you've forgotten your password. That happens a lot. That's fine. What you're going to do is just go here onto the library homepage. Under My Library Account, we're going to click on that. It's going to take us to a bunch of different steps here. You can certainly follow these steps, but really all you need to do is go here to the sign-in page. So when I click on that, it takes me to a sign-in screen. This is what using the databases will look like if you're working off campus, because we do require our students to authenticate their identities. Think of it like, you have to sign in to Hulu or Netflix or your Amazon account. We want to make sure it's you. So if you have a My Library account, you go ahead and enter it here. If you don't, what you're going to do is click Set Reset Password. It's going to take you to this. You're going to put your ID number in, your A number or your CC number, depending on which you have, and you're going to click Request New Password. What that is going to do is prompt the system to send an email to your Citrus College email with a link. Click on the link, set your password, and you're good to go. So I do recommend, if you're watching this tutorial at home and you want to follow along as we go, I do recommend starting out by getting your My Library account. It'll just make life easier for you. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the library homepage, which I can do at any time by clicking this banner up here at the top. And I'm going to talk about some of the resources that are available to you here in the library. You know that you are required to do research for this paper, and there is a lot of good material available for you here at the Hayden Memorial Library. So let's talk about how to find it. The first thing we're going to take a look at here is our library catalog. So if I go ahead and click on that, I can type in my search term. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I have selected to use John Lennon and his lyrics. Obviously, you'd put in your own search term, but here's how I'm going to do it just to sort of show you what we have available. I'm going to type in John Lennon lyrics. I'm going to hit enter, and it is going to give me the results that we have here in the library. So it says that we have 16 results. It's currently searching the Hayden Memorial Library at Citrus College. You will notice that there are other options for you here, and that is because we are able to get things from outside of our library if you give us enough time. We're able to get articles and books through interlibrary loan. Articles, it's usually a few days. Books is about a week, but if you see something outside of our library that you want, please know that we can get it for you. But let's take a look at our first result here. The Words and Music of John Lennon. Okay, I can see it's a print book. I can see a little bit about it here with the publisher description, and I can see where it's available. We have it at our library. Little green check mark here indicates that yes, it's available. And it is on the second floor of the library. I know I said earlier that everything we were going to talk about could be done from home or online. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to get physical print books to you that way yet. I haven't been able to teleport them to your living room just yet. So if there's a print book you want, you would have to come into the library and get it. I promise everything else we're going to talk about, though, you can do at home. But if you did want this particular print book, you can see that it's available. It's at the second floor of the Hayden Memorial Library, so that's where we keep our Stacks books. They check out for 3 weeks with your Citrus College ID. If you don't have a Citrus College ID, you can get one of those here at the library as well. So, okay, I see we have it. I see where it is, and then I see this whole call number here. So our library is organized by the Dewey Decimal System. It's a way of grouping like information together. All of these numbers mean something, but you don't have to worry about what they all mean. It's not important. Just know that if you're going upstairs looking for this specific title, you're going to want this whole call number, because you notice that all of the books are all in the same area, right? 780, 782, 782. Like I said, we group like information together. So if you're looking for something specific, you want the whole call number. If you just want to go upstairs and peruse and see what we have on a topic, checking out the call number is a great way to do it, because you'll know that everything else in that area will be related to what you're looking for. So that is how you search for physical items in the library, using the library catalog. But I know that you're probably more interested in things that you can do without having to be in the library, more interested in things you can look at on the internet. And hey, we've got that covered for you too. On our home page here, underneath the catalog, we have a link that says databases. So I'm going to click on that. Our library subscribes to 49 different databases on various subjects available for you to use. This is 24 hours, so you can access this on campus, off campus, whenever you need it. Like I said, if you're off campus, you're going to need that My Library account, but it is available to you. And one of the databases that I want to show you today is the Gale Virtual Reference Library. It's a great collection of encyclopedias, and there's a couple ways to get to it. You can go down here on our A to Z list, scroll down or click G, or in our most popular databases over here, because people really like this database, so we've put it over here in the corner where everybody can get to it right away. So I'm going to click on that, Gale Virtual Reference Library. And there are a couple of encyclopedias that I want to specifically show you in this database. When we're talking about poems and lyrics, you've probably noticed that songwriters will often look at what's happening in the world around them for inspiration. Right? When you look at the song like American Pie by Don McLean, all of those lyrics, every single one of those lyrics means something. In the example that I'm using, John Lennon, John Lennon obviously wrote a lot about the world around him, what with the anti-war movement and the civil rights movement. So it's important to understand what was going on in the world when your artist was creating their art. It will help you have a more rounded view of the art and will help you to interpret it better. So one of the things that we have that's great for that is a publication called American Decades. So what I'm going to do is in my advanced search bar here, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go down to publication title, because I'm looking for a specific publication, and I am going to type in American Decades. So it's going to give me a bunch of stuff here, 5,000 results. I don't want to scroll through 5,000 results. What I'm actually going to do is right here in From, I can see the encyclopedia that this article comes from, and I can see that it's from American Decades, which is the one that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to take me to the table of contents for this particular resource. So right now I'm in the 1900s. So what I want to do for my topic is I'm going to take a look at 1960 to 1969. So I click on that, and it gives me all of the contents that I have available to me. It has the decade broken down into various categories, right? I have arts, business, education, fashion, government and politics, media, science and technology. So when you decide what you want to write about, this is going to be really, really helpful for you to sort of find what was happening in a particular area during that time. If you don't know what you want to write about, this is going to be helpful for you as well, because as you go through and sort of peruse through here, you can say, oh, I see that there was a big government movement in the 1960s. When I click on this, I can see like, oh, okay, topics in the news, the Cold War, national politics, radical politics. These are all things, Black Power, these are all things that people might have used in their art or in their songs. So I can look at this and then take it back to my song lyrics, or vice versa. I take my song lyrics and look at this and sort of connect the two. So let's take a look at one of the articles available to us here. So if I click here, I'm going to click on Black Power. It is going to give me my whole article right in front of me. Lots of different options. I can listen to it. I can scroll through it and read through it. I can also look for specific keywords by using Control and F. And what that is going to do is pull up a little box. I'm working in Google Chrome, so this is where it comes up in Chrome. I believe in Firefox it's down here on this corner, and in Internet Explorer it's up here. But this is going to work not only on web pages but also on PDFs or on Word documents, really anything you need to search. So what I can do is put in a particular keyword. If I don't want to read through this entire article to see if it's relevant to me, I want to see where it talks about what I want. Let's see, if I type in music. Okay, music didn't get me anything. Song, art. So if I type in art, it gives me 42 results. But you'll notice that it's not looking for just the word art, right? We can see the first one here, it's highlighting Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. because he has art in the middle of his name. So this is a really useful tool to look for keywords, but just know that it's not looking for content. It is only looking for the word that you are saying. You still need to do the work and see if the results are relevant. Like in this case, probably less so. So I'm going to click out of here. I'm going to go back up here to the top and click right here on Gale Virtual Reference Library again. I'm going to go back to my advanced search here in the corner. And I would like to show you another ebook collection that we have available called The People's Chronology. So once again, I'm going to click right here. I'm going to go down to publication title and type in People's Chronology. It's going to autofill for me. Thank you very much. Search. Again, I get over 1,000 articles. Not interested in going through all of them. What I want is right here, the link for the encyclopedia. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you can see right here that the People's Chronology is going to give me information from pretty much the beginning of time. So what I'm going to do is scroll down to the area that I'm actually looking for. See, lots of time has passed. So let's say that I'm interested in what was happening in 1969. So I can go ahead and click on the year 1969, and it's going to give me some quick facts about what was happening in the world at that point. Once again, it has me laid out with political events, human rights, social justice, all sorts of different links so I can jump to what I want. I can also use my Control F trick here as well to find certain keywords, but in this case I'm just going to click music. And it's going to tell me what was happening in the world of music at that time. Okay, Woodstock happened, popular songs, Give Peace a Chance, Get Back, and you can sort of look at these and say, okay, so these songs and this movement probably tie into something else that was going on, right, during that time period, like social justice and political events. So I might want to continue looking through the People's Chronology to sort of tie these things together. It's a really good resource for quick facts to sort of give you a place to start to look for further information. So since these two, People's Chronology and American Decades, are both in the same database, when you look at an article, it works the same way. We talked about Control F, but I do want to show over here, this sidebar here, the different things you can do with the article. A lot of times, students think that they will search something and then they'll remember how they got to it later. Like, oh, I know I was in People's Chronology and I clicked on this article and then this article and then this article. Don't try to recreate the wheel. If you find something that looks good to you during your research, make use of one of these options here. You can print the article if you have a printer at home or if you're in the library. You can email the article to yourself. You can send it to your OneDrive, your Google Drive. If you like this article and you think you might potentially want to use it, get it to yourself. I cannot stress that enough. Don't try to recreate a search that you did days ago. If you ultimately don't decide to use the article, that's the worst thing that happens. You don't decide to use it. It's a piece of paper you throw away. It's an email you delete. That's it. It's always a good idea to have more sources than you think you're going to need when you sit down to write, because you don't want to find yourself, as you're writing your essay and you realize one of your sources is not going to work for you. So then you have to stop what you're doing, go back and do the research process over again to get another source to meet the minimum requirements, and it's a huge pain. Don't do it to yourself. Have more than you think you need. I always tell students to think of it like your spare tire. Like, you don't really ever think about your spare tire, right? It's just kind of there in your trunk and whatever, but you're really grateful to it if you have a blowout on the freeway. So work with it. Get some spare tires in your trunk. If you don't use them, you don't use them. But this database makes it really easy to get yourself the information. It also has this neat highlights and notes section here. So if I find something interesting in one of these, like if I'm really interested in this about the former Saudi king, I can highlight it, click highlight here, pick a color on it, and then I can put a note. This ties into my song. So I can put a note here. So when I email the article to myself or put it in my Google Drive, or if I print it, what it'll do is show my highlight here. And then when I scroll down to the bottom of the article, it's going to show my notes. So that's a good way of kind of keeping track of why you liked this particular article. And of course, if we're using articles or books or anything that doesn't belong to us, that is not our words, we are going to cite it, right? You already know that. We cite for a lot of different reasons. We cite so we don't plagiarize. We cite to give credit where credit is due. We cite because our instructor told us we have to. Whatever your reason is for citing your work, just make sure you do it. Luckily, there is a great tool here in our database called Citation Tools. And when I click on it, it is going to give me an MLA 8 citation. Right, I click on it, it comes up, great. I always warn people, trust but verify with these. I mean, they're excellent and the information is there, but make sure it is formatted correctly. It's just a computer, right? It only knows what I tell it. So if I'm telling it something that isn't exactly correct, it's not checking for me. So definitely look at it, make sure it's correct, make sure it matches the format that your instructor wants it in, and then, go ahead and use it. If you are not sure about MLA citations, I will show you some more resources at the end, and you can always talk to your helpful librarians as well. Okay, so that is what we have on Gale Virtual Reference Library. So I'm going to click off here, and I am going to go back to my list of databases here. I'm going to clear my filter and get my full list, because the next database I want to talk to you about is EBSCOhost. So again, I can click the E here, or it's a really popular database. I can just go right here and click EBSCOhost, multiple databases, and there you go. So EBSCO does have multiple databases. You can scroll through here. I always recommend keeping Academic Search Complete checked. I think it's a great comprehensive database. But as you scroll through here, you'll see we also have consumer medication, Health Watch, American history, business, communication. I don't always recommend selecting all of the databases because it can sometimes provide you with more information than you really need, but we're going to go rogue today and we're going to select them all and take a look. So it's warning me. It says this may result in a slow response time. I get that. We're going to do it anyway. We're in this together. So I hit continue, and I can see up here at the top what databases I'm searching, and it's all of them. So I'm going to close that because we don't need to see that. And now what I'm going to do is type in my search terms here. So the first search term I'm going to do is John Lennon. Lennon. Keyboard's a little wonky. I apologize. But I'm not just looking for articles about John Lennon, right? That would be a little bit overwhelming. So what I'm going to do is go down here to my next line and link it with this Boolean search operator. A Boolean search operator is a fancy way of saying words that link other stuff together. So your most popular options are and, or, and not. You're going to use and pretty much all the time, so let's stick with that. So I'm going to do John Lennon and songwriting. Or lyrics. So I linked these with or because it's possible that I will get articles that talk about John Lennon's lyrics but don't use the phrase songwriting but are still relevant. Or I'll get articles that talk about his songwriting but don't use the word lyrics that are still relevant. So or is a really great linking word for ideas that are similar but not necessarily synonyms, right? So songwriting or lyrics. Poems or poetry, works or books, things like that, to sort of, they mean the same thing and you could see people using the words interchangeably, but you want to make sure that your search captures all of that. You want to know about songwriting and lyrics and all that good stuff. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click search and it is going to give us 1,412 results, right? Which is a lot. I'm not sure how many results, how many sources you need for this particular assignment. I know it's not 1,000. So there are a few ways we can go ahead and break this down. We are currently looking at articles from 1991 to 2019. So that is what the database has pulled up for me. Because John Lennon is a historical figure, you might not want to shrink the time limit down. If you're studying an artist that has spanned the ages, you might want the full amount of articles they have over the publication dates, and that's just fine. But please know that if you do want to change this, you can use your slidey bar here to pick years that you want, or you can put the year that you want up here and just type it in. You can break it down by scholarly journals if you only want to see what academic sources have said about John Lennon's songwriting. You can do that here too. Or you can go on down here and say, you know, I'm not super keen on knowing what academic journals have to say. I would like to know what newspapers have to say. So there's lots of different ways you can break this down here. Here's other source types you can go ahead and look through. You can also look through results very quickly and judge whether or not they're going to help you just by looking at what's offered here in front of you, right? So I see, okay, Lennon-McCartney and the Middle Eight. All right, so it was written by John Fitzgerald, okay, from 1996. That's fine. We've talked about if an artist is spanning decades, we're not going to worry too much about that. I can see where it's from. I can see subjects that are available to me here too. So this is what the article is saying it's about. The main subjects are musical analysis, songwritings, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and the Beatles. Okay, that's helpful. I also have this little guy right over here, this piece of paper and a magnifying glass that I can hover over and see, okay, again, popular music, that's my source, academic journal subjects, and I can see an abstract of the article. So what an abstract is a summary. The author will write something and say, this is a quick little blip, this is a quick little paragraph of what my article is about. So if you read this and it looks like something that's interesting to you and it looks like something that your paper is about, go ahead and click on the article if the abstract looks good. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. You know, obviously there are plenty of search results here to choose from. So don't waste your valuable time on things that aren't going to work. So I'm going to pretend right now that this is going to work for me. So I want to look at the article. I'm going to click on PDF full text, and it's going to present the article just like I have it in front of me. So I can see, okay, 12 pages, yay, John Fitzgerald, thank you so much. Lots of interesting things here. And as I scroll down to the bottom of my article here, a lot of people stop when they get to this point, the works cited point, because they think, oh, okay, great, end of the paper, I'm done. But do you remember how we talked about how you're always going to cite your articles? You're always going to cite your work because you're writing an academic paper, and we don't plagiarize, and we give credit and all that good stuff? These people are doing the same thing. Academic articles are essentially really big research papers. And you're probably wondering, why is this important to me? Well, it's important to you for this reason. They're always going to cite their sources too. So if an article really works for you, if something is really, really good and has lots of good information, look at the works that they've cited. See if these might be something you can use for your paper. If something looks good, take the title, copy and paste it, throw it into the library databases, and see if we have it available. I said earlier that we can get you things that we don't have, and that is so true. Give us a little bit of time, and we can get it for you. So don't think that this is, where you should stop reading the article. Definitely, definitely look at what your writer has used as well. They've already done the work, right? Use their work. We're going to work both smart and hard. Okay, go back up to the top of the article here. This database also has the sidebar the same way Gale does. It's not as friendly. It doesn't have the names and everything underneath it, but all the options are there. Save it to my Google Drive, print it, email it to myself. If I'm feeling super ambitious, I can create an EBSCO account. And down here, this little yellow piece of paper is my citation tab. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to list every citation type under the sun. What I'm going to do is scroll down to the one that I want, MLA. And again, we're going to trust but verify. I can already see that this is an imperfect MLA citation. So you just want to make sure that it matches everything that your instructor wants, because you don't want to get points taken off for something silly like, oh, my citation isn't capitalized. You're working way too hard on this. So trust but verify. And that is how we use our EBSCO databases. So we're going to go back now to our list of A to Z databases, and we are going to talk about something that's pretty fun, I think, actually. A lot of students think when they're doing research that means they are limited to books or articles or dry things that they're not particularly interested in. And that is not necessarily the case. You can certainly use multimedia sources when doing research as well. So our library subscribes to a couple of really interesting databases, streaming media databases that, again, you can view at home with your My Library account. So what I'm going to do is go up here to all database types, click, and go down to streaming videos. So I've got my 5 listed here. The one I want to talk about first is Films on Demand. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Films on Demand is a great database for documentaries and educational films. It does tend to lean more that way, more of the educational and not necessarily entertainment way of going. And there are a few ways that we can search this. One of them is to go here and look at our subjects and our popular categories and our featured producers. So that if you are looking for something that's produced by a particular company, this might be the way to go. You can also type in your search terms here. So I just want to see stuff about John Lennon. What do you got? Okay, it has 292 results for me, which is pretty good. So I can scroll down, the assassination of John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band. Oh, okay, the Beatles. Composing outside the Beatles, Lennon and McCartney. That might be interesting, right? It talks about composing, and I am writing about lyrics, so let's take a look. So I click on this, and I have the whole video here in front of me. And a couple of interesting things I can do. I can get the transcript of the video, which is important if you're going to be pulling quotes for your paper. A lot of times we, stop the video, write what we need to, rewind 2 seconds, stop the video, write what we need to. You don't have to do that. This makes the transcript available to you, so you can just take it out of here. It also breaks the video down into segments. So if you don't want to watch the whole 2 hours and 18 minutes of this, you don't have to. You can scroll to the particular area that you are interested in. Like maybe I am particularly interested in, let's see, give peace a chance. So if I click on that, what happens?
and the world was becoming very aware that Lennon was flourishing outside of the Beatles. His and Ono's March honeymoon had been a major news event, and they used the media spotlight to stage a series of publicity stunts to promote world peace. The campaign began with the legendary European bedding, in which they conducted media interviews from their honeymoon suite in Amsterdam.
So, just like watching anything, right? YouTube, Netflix, all that good stuff. The nice thing about this database is, in addition to being interesting and fun to watch, we also have this little area down here wherein I can create segments. If I want to cut out just that part that I watched, I can go ahead and do that. And so I can embed it into a PowerPoint if I'm giving a presentation, or if I want to be able to share it with my classmates, I can do that. And it also offers me the citation link. And that's super important here. It's my MLA citation. I have students ask me often, what do I have to cite? And the answer is anything that you didn't create. So I've had students say, do I have to cite TV shows? Yes, you do. Videos? Tweets? Yes. The Bible? Yes, you do. All of this needs to be cited. So this gives you that citation right in front of you, so you don't have to dig around and say, well, how do I cite a video? Okay, so that is our Films on Demand database. I'm going to click out of here, and I'm going to show you the next one, which is Canopy. Now, Canopy is a really great and fun database. It tends to be more entertainment-based, art films, documentaries, but full-length features mostly on here. You can see it, I have my new to Canopy documentaries here. I can scroll down and see World Cinema, Trending Now, classic film directed by women, Oscar winners and nominees, so I can see, oh, okay, this is like a major feature-length film that came out a couple years ago. Hereditary, really interesting horror movie, but like popular films in addition to documentaries. So very, very interesting stuff. So what I can do to search Canopy, if I'm not just in the mood to scroll through thousands of titles, I can browse and take a look at different movies, documentaries, things like that. Or once again, I can just type in my subject. So John Lennon. John Lennon gives me several results here, and I can see, oh, okay, it's showing me clips, and I can see that it pulled up this video for me because there are matches in the transcript. It pulls my keywords from the transcript. So let's take a look at this first one here, Discovering John Lennon. Okay, got the video right here in front of me. Here's a little bit about it.
As soon as you're born, they make you feel small.
So this particular database does not have the segment area, unfortunately, so you would have to sort of go through and look at the whole video. But what you can do is use the transcript to scroll down to the part that you want. And if you say, okay, I want to jump to this part of the video, we can click here, and it will start me at the area that I clicked in the transcript.
And just a really simple, driving, powerful, immediate sound.
But it's one for the morning, two for the soul.
This database does also have the ability to create a clip or a playlist if I wanted to do that to embed my sources. And it gives me that all-important citation tool here. So it shows me how to cite in APA, MLA, and Chicago. Obviously, we're going to be using MLA for what you're doing. So once again, like I said, trust but verify, but this is very, very helpful to have this in front of you and to not have to look at how to cite a video, because it's, of course, different than citing a book or an article. All right. So those are the databases that I wanted to cover with you in this video. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click on our library homepage. There we go. Beautiful thing. I know that we covered a lot here. And the nice thing about having a video is that you can rewind it to the part where you want to see again. But if you are feeling like, oh my goodness, I have so much information, I'm feeling overwhelmed, just remember one thing. Here, library homepage, under Research Help, if I click Guides by Subject, I can scroll down to my subject. So we're in English 103. There's your instructor. And we've created a whole guide that goes along with this assignment. And it's going to show you things that we've talked about in here, like our Gale and GVRL, our various journal articles here, and it's going to show media and print sources that we have available in the library. I showed you how to find print sources initially, and that is still a really good way to do it, but if you just want to kind of take a glance and see what we have available, here it is. I also want to direct your attention, before we close this video out, to this area on our homepage. It's our Contact Us area. The library is open Monday through Thursday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, Fridays from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m., but we know that you're not always on campus during those hours, but you still might need help. That's okay. Reach out to us. Call us, email us, text us, open up a live chat with us. We are happy to get back to you. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and I say that not only so you'll follow us, but also because I have had students reach out to me with research questions on those platforms. I am happy to answer you there. Please know that you can come to us for any questions that you have. This may be the first big research paper you've written for a college course or an English class. It's not the first time that we've helped people with this exact assignment. So don't hesitate. Come visit us here in the library. We would be happy to see you. Call, text, email, Facebook, Instagram, carrier pigeon, make an appointment with us. Whatever is easiest for you, whatever the best way is for you to get help, do that, and we will meet you there. So once again, my name is Elizabeth Cook. I'm the instructional design librarian. Come on over and say hi. Or if you want to reach me, I'm going to put my contact info at the end of this video. Good luck. Let us know if you need anything, and have a great semester.